Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is my review of Ireland versus Italy, and I've entitled this review Starter Pistol because this is it now. This is the final run-up to the World Cup that Irish fans have been looking forward to for the last couple of years. So yeah, their first game in that progression up until the World Cup final, they hope, and a lot of people hope too. So let's see how it went. So straight off the bat, we get a scrum, and Ireland have a new look front row, and they don't do that well against the Italians, and they eventually cough up the penalty, and the Italians slot it over, and it's 3-0 in favour of the Italians. Neither team looks that settled early on in the match, but Ireland do get a little bit of pressure, get a penalty and tap and go, which is nice to see, and they power over from close range, and it's good. And throughout this match, Ireland relied on their power game, and it's great that they actually have a power game. A lot of the tries and the points were the result of rolling mauls or scrums and penalties conceded, but yeah, Ireland really utilised that well. The Italian defence is playing pretty aggressive, as aggressive as they can be, but unfortunately for them, their prop gets a yellow card, and that was for tackling a player, not getting back and tackling the player, and you can't really have any arguments with that. The prop tried to talk his way out of it, but it didn't work, and he's off for 10 minutes. Ireland put their foot down, and that man Doris in the back row, who had a great game, he picks up the ball and just canters over for a try, again from pretty close range. So Ireland flexing their muscles up front. The score now is 14-3, and Crowley, who's starting at 10, is having a good game. He's kicking his kicks, and yeah, he looks like the heir apparent at this point to Johnny Sexton, who no doubt will play in the World Cup, but great to have a young backup like him who had a great URC season. Yeah, so Crowley looking the part, and amazing how far he's come in just the season. So worryingly for the Italians, the Irish team look like they're starting to find their rhythm now. A lot of those dummy runners, passes out the back, and which Ireland are really good at. And yeah, it's looking ominous now for the Italians. They're going to have to step up their game just to stay in the match at this point. And once again, Doris is involved. A great read from him. Crowley, the number 9 for Italy, is sleeping, looking for runners when he should have already decided. Doris steams through the middle of the ruck and tackles him, which is, the ball was out, so no question there. Yeah, so Ireland looking good. They get over for the try, and it's 21-3. Yeah, so a big lead into the second half. Italy are throwing the ball wide, and yeah, they've been criticised a little bit for maybe doing that too early, but you know, it's nice to see them with ball in hand, and they do look good when they do have it, and I think we saw that in the Six Nations too. They get some decent territory finally, which is what they've been missing most of all. I mean, the 10 didn't really put them in the correct positions in the pitch, but when they do, Pani skates over in the corner for a try. It's very simple hands and easy money really for the Italians. So they're showing what they can actually produce when they get in that red zone. So yeah, a great little start to the second half for Italy. After the Italian try, the game slows down, and it's fits and starts really, and this will suit Ireland, just getting a little bit of experience for the new boys. Ireland aren't content with their lead, and they work their way down the field, get good territory, and once again power over for a try from close range. And yeah, it's really impressive how they can turn the screw on teams. I know it's just the Italians, but you know, Italy have a decent pack, so be interesting to see how Ireland use this form of attack rather than the classic wide play in future internationals before the World Cup. So at 26-10, the Italians respond really well, and they go on the attack again. They realize they have to do something. If it wasn't for their mistakes, a lot of handling errors, a lot of penalties, I think they could have done a much better job competing in this game. But Minicello gets over in midfield, for a try. Again, Ireland will not be happy that they conceded those tries, but Italy worked hard for them, so it's 26-17 and fair enough. Ireland respond to the Italian score, and they really push hard, showing some of that classic Irish play behind the pack that we've become so accustomed to recently. And they put the ball through hands and eventually get over for the try, and now it's 33-17. And yeah, thoroughly deserved from the Irish team, but you still think they've got like 3 or 4 gears left to go through, so that's a good sign for Ireland. That's how the game finishes, 33-17, and yeah, a good result for Ireland. Italy were a little bit disappointing, to be honest. Crowley can take a lot of confidence from his performance. He looked the part, did his job well, kicked his kicks mostly, or almost entirely, and yeah, the big players had great games, and some of the players playing their way back into form, like Henderson, yeah, and Henshaw in the midfield. Yeah, they did well. So yeah, a decent result. Italy just weren't able to do it. Too many mistakes, as has been the case for a while now. They're on a bad run at the moment of losses. And can they do anything in the World Cup? To be honest, they have potential, but not if they play the way they played against Ireland. It wasn't Ireland's first team by a long stretch, and still Ireland comfortably put them away, admittedly at home, but still quite a big score, and it could have been bigger, if I'm being honest. So yeah, good result for Ireland, but this is just, as I stated, the starter's pistol. So things are going to ramp up significantly in the next few weeks for Ireland, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do. So yeah, that's my review. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe, share, and all the other stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.